You do not have permission to...
So, yesterday featured the Truck Norris camshaft unboxing, and that was the full kit. That was springs, camshaft, and of course, valve seals. If you didn't check that video out, check the comments. It's in there. The open box Truck Norris camshaft kit, available with a coupon code. That was yesterday. Today, I want to go over valve spring options from Tooley Racing, specifically their steel versus titanium kits, the difference between them, the benefits of both, price point, and things of that nature. So that's what we're doing today. Unless you have been living under a rock, you should know that the Tooley Racing valve spring kits are the go-to industry standard for LS performance. That's what the majority of people use. That's what we always install in-house. That's what I always personally run in my vehicles, even before I worked for Tooley Racing. Now, after I don't work for Tooley Racing anymore, I still will only use their valve spring kits. And that is because they hold up, they stand the test of time, and they take an enormous amount of abuse. From Formula Drift to drag racing to everyday street cars, everything in between. Their dual spring kits, their beehive spring kits, their conical spring kits are all on the money. The kits that we're going to be going over today are the steel and the titanium retainer versions of the SK001. So I'm going to go over what the part numbers mean, what's included with the kits, and what kit might be best for you. Okay, so valve spring boxes. They're identical. From the outside, they look completely the same. One of these is steel and one of these is titanium, and I'll show you which component I'm referring to in just a second. But you turn the boxes on their ends, you're going to see a small difference. One of these ends in S and the other doesn't. The full part number below, SK001/S0560BB, same with over here. You can see all of the spring information on the end as well, and their scan code for when they're pulling from inventory. Now the part number, SK001, that identifies the springs that are included. Notice they're the same, SK001, SK001. Let me get a pointing device here. So SK001, SK001. Next, you have a backslash that says S. For this, that stands for steel. Over here, that stands for titanium. See the T? 0560, that stands for the locator size, what valve guides basically you have. That's standard. And then the BB at the end stands for black valve seals. They used to offer brown and black. They have since gone to full black, and that part number has stayed the same since. So that's the part number. That's what that means. Let's crack the boxes open and see what's inside. And obviously, since I am opening these boxes, they are now open box items. And just like with the Truck Norris cam video, we will have these available for a discounted rate because they cannot be sold as new, because I have in fact broken the seal. Starting with the steel retainer version of this kit. You open the box up, you're going to see a warning message at first. Before I go any further, I want to discuss why this is so important. For that, I will need these hat seals to illustrate what we got going on. Okay, so you're going to see incorrect versus correct. And what they're referring to is why you cannot use hat seals, the stock hat style seal, and why you cannot use that on a dual spring. So the valve seal itself is what locates the stock spring. So you see the stock hat seal has basically the large flange at the bottom. That is what locates the factory spring. With a dual spring setup, they come with their own locators. See, LS spring locator for stock guides. The 5060 number there, that's also part of the spring kit part number. These are locators. These locators go down first, and I'll put this all together in a moment. But on a dual spring setup, the locator, you can see in this picture, goes down first, and then the valve seal, that goes over the top. These are what the valve seals look like for a dual spring setup. So you do not use these, you use these. So when you order or buy a used set off your Uncle Jimbo's buddy Jeff that you haven't talked to in 20 years and he doesn't include seals with his kit, and you're more than likely buying some knockoff piece that's not really BTR, at the very least, buy a set of valve seals that work with the dual spring kit. Don't buy these, buy these. Don't install these if you have them, install these on top of the locators. But every BTR kit will come with this warning, and absolutely do not disregard this warning. Take it seriously and look it over before you begin your installation. The entire box has been emptied so I can show you what we have. Again, this is the steel retainer version of the kit. You're going to have 4 bags, your warning message, and your springs. The bags are the locks, the valve seals, the locators, and the retainers. Again, your locks, so you have 2 locks per valve, your valve stem seals, 1 stem seal per valve, your locators, 1 per spring, and your retainers, 1 per spring. And then you have your 16 springs up here. The springs between the 2 kits are the exact same. The locks are the same, the seals are the same, the locators are the same, the retainers are different, and I'll come back to that in a moment. But first, take a look at what you got. Again, you have brand new locks, so your own worn junky locks you don't have to reuse. Your seals, like I explained installing. Your locators, again, these are for stock guides. So if you have oversized guides, you have to call ahead and get different guides or different locators. But these are what 99% of the people will run. And again, your retainers. The springs are good for 660 lift camshafts. These hold up to a ton of abuse. I have personally run these springs at over 8,000 RPM without issue. And we ran all of drag week on these springs with my car, with Rye's car. This is, again, industry standard, in my opinion, in spring performance. So you get all of this together, and that's what comprises the steel kit. Now, for people that are trying to get some weight off their valve train, that's when they go to titanium, and I'll dump that box out so you can see as well. Just like described, these are the exact same kits with the exception of, obviously, the retainers. So you have your locks, seals, locators, and your retainers. And obviously the springs are the same left to right. They're the exact same kit. The difference between the chromoly steel retainers and the titanium retainers is weight and strength. For the majority of applications, the steel retainers will do just fine. The titanium retainers are a small upcharge to not only save weight in your valve train, but have a little bit more rigidity and strength. So from a weight standpoint, again, not monumental, but every gram counts. It's 7.2 ounces, 7.3 ounces. Just to clarify, okay, 7.2, 7.3. Put it down. Titanium retainers, 5 ounces. So again, make sure center there, 5 ounces. So a couple ounce saving in weight and the strength of titanium. You can't really go wrong, especially with the upcharge being as minimal as it is. So titanium versus steel, again, everything else is the same, but these units obviously do save some weight and add some strength over chromoly steel. An up close and personal look at the retainers. I mean, you can feel the weight in your hand, the difference between a steel and a titanium, but these are confidence inspiring, and the price change between the two, I think it's 70-ish bucks. You really can't go wrong with just changing up to titanium, but at the same time, the steel kits are more than capable of handling whatever you throw at them. I ran drag week on a steel kit. Rye ran drag week on a titanium kit. Both cars still run those valve springs today. Well, mine does. Rye's is all taken apart. But either way, either kit is going to get you done. If you're more race car stuff, titanium is the way to go. If you got a Caprice like me, steel is the way to go. So unfortunately, I don't have a spare cylinder head laying around that I could show you on a cylinder head how these get assembled. But the point of this part is to show you why the hat seals cannot be used, and you need to use these seals and these locators in place. So in this picture that they warn you on, you can see that locator is down first, and then the seal's on top. The silver going through the seal is the actual valve stem. So use your imagination for a second. This goes down over the valve guide. This gets pressed on to the valve guide. You can use the BTR seal installer tool. A lot of people use a socket and ruin the valve seals. Once those are down, then your spring goes down. Oh no, hold on, everybody calm down. And your spring goes down. Once your spring goes down, your retainer goes on top. So your valve stem will stick through the retainer. So whether it's titanium or steel, either way, this spring will get compressed down, and you will then take your locks. You can see the radial groove lock in there. Let's see if I can get the groove that will sit inside the valve stem on either side of the retainer, and these will act in conjunction to lock the valve into place. So once that's all complete, you can release the tension off the spring and you should be good to go. But that is why you cannot use the hat seal. If you use the hat seal, you will get binding on the lower step of the seal, which will cause the spring to break. So do not use hat seals. Use your regular valve seals, the ones that come with the kit. Be sure to use the provided components, not hat seals, regular provided seals. And don't use a socket to hammer these on, for the love of God. I know the last couple videos have been relatively sales pitchy, and that's not the intent. My intent is not just to try to sell you on stuff. I have seen a bunch of comments posted on what springs, what do I need for seals, this, that, the other. The reason for this video is just to show people the difference between the two premier options, in my opinion, of dual spring kits, the titanium and the steel. Again, there are different size locators you may need. Consult with your LS professional if you have any questions. You can always email sales@dynasty.com if you have questions as well. There'll be a link in the description for both of these kits, as well as a coupon code that will shave some cash off the top, because these are now open box items and I can't ship them to a customer now that I have cut them open. So take a look at the description if you're looking for a spring kit, save some money at the same time. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget that I went faster than Ryan. He still doesn't have a car that runs. Everybody have a blessed day. Go potty. Go potty. We'll play ball. Go potty first. No. You know the rules, dude. Go potty. No. No. Go potty. Go poop, and then we'll play ball. Poop, then ball. No. Hey, hey. Easy. Poop, then ball. Poop, ball. Poop, and then ball. All right, go get the ball.